Hi, my name is Karen, and I'm the Twitchy Stitcher here on FlossTube, and on Instagram, I'm Twitchy Stitcher 01. I want to welcome you all to my finish parade. I want to, if you're new, please stick around and look at some pretty pictures, and I want to welcome back all my subscribers and friends who are looking forward to seeing what I've been doing for the past 40 odd years, maybe 50, I'm not sure. So I've been stitching since the 70s, and today I have 72 finishes to show you. That's just what's available in this house, not counting things at my mother's house, my daughters, my granddaughters, my other grandchildren, and my great-grandson. So I generally stitch on 14 to 16 count Aida. The colors are all generally available. I pick it up at Amazon or big box shops or wherever I am and see a pretty color. I pick it up over the years. And I generally use the called for floss, the called for chronic, and the called for Mill Hill beads. Where I've used dyed fabrics, I will let you know, or if it's a unique count or something like that. So in no particular order, let's start. The first one is called Geranium. It's by Nora Corbett, and it's one of her fairies. And I stitched this in 2024. I'm going to have to be throwing fabric around, so there's going to be some movement, but not too much noise. The next one is by Shannon Christine, and it's called Christmas Red. I finished it in 2024, but I believe I started it in 2022. It was in a cross stitch magazine. This one is called Rare Horror Flies, and it was a Noctiflora design, and it was a stitch along in 2023. This one was a printed canvas. It's a winter bicycle. I tried an experiment and it failed. It's very hard on my wrist to cross stitch on printed canvas. So this is the first, last, and only one it'll ever be. It is from a set of 4. And it's from a Chinese company, and so I don't know anything else about it. This one was a stitch along with just a few friends of mine. It was a set of 3 gnomes, and it was called Book Delivery by Soda Stitch. And I just did the library one. Simple, cute little stitch. And I dyed the fabric for this one. This one is by Country Cottage Needleworks. Now, I did a bunch of these, and this is the only one I could find, which is August. And I did that in 2022, and I have no idea where the rest are, so... This one is The Sewing Tomato by a Canadian designer, Erin Elizabeth. And I did that in 2025. And it was so much fun to do. I really, really enjoyed this stitch. This one is The Summer Tear by Erin Elizabeth. I dyed the fabric. And I am now working on my fifth tier. But I only have 3 here because one is not finished and one will be in my July recap in the first week of August. And this one is the Canada Tier, again by Erin Elizabeth, and this is a printed Ada. And this is the Valentine's Tier by Erin Elizabeth, also done this year. It was a stitch along with Karen the Stitching Owl. We decided to do a few tier trays. Okay, next set. This was a Shannon Christine, part of her Halloween series from last year. I got one little tray done. This one was titled 5 Days to Go. And it was part of her Halloween stitch along of 2024. I did it this year. These set of dresses are a combination of Eva Taneva and Tatiana Babisky. And I haven't decided if I'm going to make this into a drum or something, but I just haven't decided yet. And I did those in 2023. The next one is Bathroom Jars. And I can't tell you anything about it. I did them in 2023, and it was a magazine article, and I must have got rid of the article because I can't find it, or it's tucked in something else, so... Page 1. 5 more pages to go, folks. This next one is the Shannon Christine one, and it's called Happy Camper. And the fabric is called Elsa's Soiree, and it's from the Sewing Shop. And I did this in 2025. It was one of my WIPGO goals was to finish it. Three more of these awkward ones to show, and then we're back to normal ones again. This one was flip-flops. And it was from the Mike Vickery, from the Vickery collection. And I did that in 2016. The next one is a Soda Stitch, the Rococo Ladies. I did that in probably 2022 or 2021. They're just adorable. And the last one is of this awkward set is Cookies by the Cricket Collection. And this is a special request from my daughter. Okay, this one is Victorian Elegance by Sandy Littlejohns and Deb Lester. It was, I believe, from Cross Stitch Collection. I started it in 2020 and I finished it this year in 2025. Was also a WIPGO finish. This one, Merry Christmas. It's from Erica of Fibers and Floss. It was a Christmas gift from her on her floss tube. And I used a Brennan nettle thread for this. So that's why the great variegation. This one, Shannon Christine, So Much Love. I did that this year. This one is called Merry Christmas, and it's by Sage Butterfly Designs. And this is a cute little Christmas sampler. Next one, Shannon Christine, Hello Spring. There's a series of 4. I'm working on the 3rd one right now. So yeah, it's a series my daughter requested, so she's gonna have them. But the other one I finished was Hello Fall. Hello Fall I did in 2023, Hello Spring 2025. The next one is by Love Poppet, and it's called Pumpkin Toad. I did this in 2025, and it's on a Stitchman Darcy fabric called Secrets and Lilacs, 16 count. It's a great fabric. And this is the Stitcher Sampler by Barbara Batts Hillman. I have a couple of her books. I think they were put out in the 80s or 90s, but I finished this in 2019. And that's it for another page. There's another Shannon Christine monthly houses. It was a stitch along, and I finished it, I believe, this year. Now I did change the colors on this. I changed the word of the month. I'm instead of doing one same color, I chose a color to go with the houses. I think someday I might frame this one. Next one is by Northern Expressions, which is a local designer. And this is the Rainbow Band Sampler. And this is just using regular cross stitches. This isn't the fancy stitches. As you can see, it's quite long. And this one also, I do plan on framing it. This is Thistle by Nora Corbett. And I didn't like the colors of the beads. So I finished it all in cross stitch. And I think she's quite lovely. And I finished that in 2024. Some of them do need ironing because they still have the grids on them. That's why. The next one is Boo Crew. And that was a fat quarter shop stitch along. And from 2022. So it was probably the summer of 2022, but. This one was from, I don't know when. It was hanging in my bathroom for a few years until the frame fell apart. So this could have been easily stitched in the late 70s or early 80s, and I don't know anything about it. Except at the time I thought it was cute. But it probably did come out of a magazine. This one, Egypt. I wanted to try just using one color of thread. I thought it would be fun to do. This came out of a magazine years ago, and I don't know too much about it except it's just called Egypt. But for a period of time, I did collect cross-stitch gold, and I also cross-stitch collection and cross-stitcher and the world of cross-stitch. So it was probably out of one of those magazines, but again, I don't know when or where. And I finished this in 2022. Okay, we're getting there. Now the next two are the only ones I've ever done in Anchor. And they were out of cross-stitch gold. I don't know what years, but I finished them in 2007. Quite long. This is the rose, and next is the iris. Now the reason I stitched them in Anchor is because they didn't have a translation to DMC, and Anchor has the best purples. So I didn't want to take a chance on really ruining the definition of the stitch. This one is Cloud Factory. Happiness is a state of mind. I did that this year. Oh, the two anchor stitches were done in 2007. Happiness is a state of mind. I did that this year. And I think this one I'm going to hang like a poster on the magnetic hanger. Treasure Island, Owl Forest Embroidery Stitch Along. I didn't do the frame because this is a big piece, and if any of you have framed big pieces, when they have a stitched frame, it's almost impossible to get it perfectly aligned. So since I knew I might be framing it, I decided not to do the little stitched border. Now this is a stitch along, and I finished at the same time, or the same month it finished in. So I stayed caught up with this one also. Oops. These are starting to get heavy, folks. This one, Lola Crow, The Haunted Library. I'm sure you've all seen this from so many people did this one. And this is by the Sewing Shop Fabric, and it's Dirty Little Secret. This one is the Deadly Aquarium, and I dyed my own fabric for this one. Really hard to show these because they're so big. I think from now on I'm going to have to start stitching smaller projects. And this is the Greenhouse of Oddities. And this is done on a fiddler's cloth. Sorry, it's weaving in and out. My wrists are getting sore, folks. And, whew, okay. Heavy ones are done. The next one are some Easter ones I've done. These are all Shannon Christine from her Easter series this year. And they were just numbered 10 days to go, 8 days to go. And these will be, once I'm done, I'm going to cut them apart and use them as ornaments on my tree. And I did that this year. This is the, oh, another page gone. Now I've got a few there. Okay, this is Fairy Dust. No. Spring Garden Fairy by Joan Elliott. I started this in 2017 and finished it in 2024. I have to admit, those flowers are what put it in timeout. There's so many confetti stitches that I had to just put it away for a little bit. The next one is Beach Gnomes by Pakamova Victoria. And she's got a shop on Etsy. Now there's a few, if you follow Laura, Stitching by the Shore, she does scrapbook some of her finishes. So that's what I tried to do. So I started that. So of course this is big and awkward. And that's the ballet dancer. Let me just fiddle with this for a minute. I can pull the cellophane off. Just a second. That'll make it better. Now, I started this when my granddaughter was doing ballet. She was probably about 6 or 7. She's now married with a 2.5-year-old son. So I would have to say it was probably in the probably late 90s, probably 97, 98, something like that, I did this stitch. And there's another page in this book that is Sage Butterfly Designs. Okay, let's do some smalls. My arm needs a break. Okay, I've got a few here. So, just let me get organized for a second again. This is called Biscornu number 500, and it's by the Floss box. I really like doing these little biscornus. The Crazy Quilt Ornament is by Kitty and Me. And I just finished it like a pillow, even though it's supposed to be a biscornu. The next one is by Doreen Jones, and it's the Dragonfly biscornu. And I did that in 2023. The other both were done in 2022. Home Sweet Home, Doreen Jones. And it was one of those craft kits that come with a magazine. Lots of backstitching in that little piece. And I did that in 2023. Next one. I Love Christmas. This was I won it in a giveaway by Janet Jabber. I Love Christmas. And this is my only Mill Hill kit I've ever done. And it's got a magnet back on it. This is a Riolas kit. And it's a needle minder, a needle keeper. And I did this pansy purse in 2024. Love Bug, Shannon Christine. I put it in, it's not permanently in here because I still want to paint it. So you can see it's a little crooked, but it's just so I can see the shape of it, and I want to paint the frame bright white. And I did that this year. Next one by Susan Penny. It was a cross-stitch kit that came with the magazine in 2023. And it's a scissor keep. The next one is a bookmark, Maleficent. It's by Aurora Cross Stitch, and she did it's a big chart with all Disney villains. So this is just one of the villains I put on a bookmark. This is Thumbelina. I did it in 2023 and I don't know anything about it. Her one eye is wonky. I couldn't get it right. So that's why I haven't finished the back of it or anything, because I'm going to take it out and try again. Next one is also, it's a floral pouch, and it was a kit from Cross Stitcher magazine, and I did this in 2022. It's by Susan Penny. It's just a little zippered pouch. But I like the little kits that come with magazine because they're so easy and quick to do. The next one is another Shannon Christine, and it's the Santa mug, and this fabric I dyed. And I did that last year. This is another Sage Butterfly Designs. It's Blackwork Heart, and I did it in 2 colors. And this is on 18 count Aida, and I did this in 2023. This Biscornu is Variegated Lattice. It's by Bobby Watts. It's a booklet of patterns called Teach Yourself to Make a Biscornu. I got it at Michael's. I did this in 2022 when I was kind of on a Biscornu kick. And I've recently found I kind of missed them, so I've got another one of this book I'm going to be starting soon. And this one, it's called Fluttering Flowers by Susan Penny, and also came out of the Cross Stitcher magazine. That's it for smalls. We're getting there. Just a few more big ones and we're done. Let me just see. Okay. The next one is Map of Discovery. It's from True Colors, no, Color Charts. And it's Jackie Bonilla, and I did this twice. I stitched it for my son in 2003, and my daughter liked it so much, I stitched it for her in 2006. Now it's ready to go into the frame, but it's not in the frame yet. So it's just on sticky board and paper in between it, so it's not stuck to the board. I lost one. There it is. Okay, this is Hello Summer by Peppermint Purple. It was a stitch along from 2022. And this is an old piece of Aida. I think I got it from a thrift store years ago. But this pillow just sits outside in the gazebo from spring to fall. It's very cute. The next one is called Fairy Dust, and it's by True Colors. And I stitched it in 96 for my daughter. And it's called Fairy Dust. and it's by Gary D. Hanner. And this is actually still available on the secondary market. This one is Home Sweet Home. I stitched this in 97. Frame is starting to fall apart. And this hung in my living room for quite a few many years. I know it came out of a magazine, probably cross-stitch gold, and it was probably within a year of 97. But other than that, not much else I know about it. The next one is The Victorian Lady by Joan Elliott. I did this in 2016. Like, Joan Elliott does the most stunning faces. I have to be careful now. The next one is The Flapper by Joan Elliott. I did this one in 2017. Sorry for the glare, but folks, these guys are heavy. Like, and again, look at that face. And the last one, starting to tilt, is The Edwardian Lady by, again, Joan Elliott. And I did this one in 2016. But these are just stunning pieces. Even if I hadn't done it, I'd still fall in love with it. So, I want to thank you all for watching. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, comment. I love the comments. I answer every comment personally. Because if you take the time to comment, I'm going to take the time to listen and comment back. And I'd love to hear your reaction about what you think about what I've been doing for the past decades. So I want to thank you all for, if you stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And I just wanted to end with, be true to yourself. Be true to yourself in what you're stitching and what you do. Thank you all, and have a wonderful summer. Bye.